I'm Katie.
Hi, I'm Maddie.
I'm Alex.
So what's my story? Well, it's still being written. Growing up, my dad always told me that you had to choose to be happy. So this picture reminds me that happiness is indeed a choice. And even on your darkest days or your lowest moments, you have the choice to be happy. I try to remember that every day. I grew up in a small town called Hampton, Minnesota with my family on a small little hobby farm. We had animals like cats, dogs, horses, ponies, and we even had a few goats. Well, this picture reminds me of how animals were always there when I needed them to be, and how much they mean to me, as well as how great of friends they are and pets. That truly made me into the animal lover that I am to this day, and I believe that I will always be. In middle school, my talents turned more from coloring inside the lines to thinking outside the box. When I began drawing, my artistic side came out. And a few years later, when I picked up my first pen and paper and began writing, I found my passion. This is a folder with one of my many stories inside, with some of my writing on each page. I've been writing for 10 plus years, and it's helped me in ways that I can't even imagine. It's been my escape when I needed it to be, as well as a release for certain feelings and emotions, as well as thoughts and actions. As a writer, the characters that I create aren't necessarily me, but they have become a huge part of me. They're the adventurer, the hero or the villain, the warrior and the fighter, as well as the cool kid and sometimes even the dork. The characters are also certain parts of me that I choose to hide. They're the parts that I want to become, and they're the parts that I have been. I truly believe that they are the parts that I will be as well. Every story is based on a simple truth, and the stories that I write are based on my truth. I found a quote the other day that I think sums up a writer very well. A writer is a world trapped inside that one person. Now, onto what I do for work. I joined the Army in October of 2014 and was sent to basic training in Oklahoma. I completed AIT there as well, which is where I learned my job. As a 14 Tango, I work on the Patriot missile system and we defend our assets in countries all over the world. I've been deployed twice to the Middle East, and I'm on my second deployment right now, which explains the items that I use for my speech because I don't have as many here as I would like. Well, the night before my first deployment, I went and saw Steve-O live with a couple of my friends. And this is where I picked up this book. He even signed it. Well, I brought it with me on my first deployment. And then when I got back to the States, I gave it to a friend who brought it with her on her first deployment. Now that I'm out here a second time, I forgot that she had it. But she surprised me by sending it to me about a month in, and that is why I picked this item. So, what is my story? I'm an animal lover to my core. I'm a soldier every day of the week, and I'm a writer in my very soul. However, don't judge my story by the chapter that you walked in on. Thank you.